Hiya, welcome back to another video. We're back in Svalenik. Business as usual. Normal operating conditions have been restored. We've got hot and sunny weather, late 20s getting on to 30. It's October next week, but you wouldn't know it. We're back from the seaside in Varna, where we had a great time flying the Mavic Mini and having fights with seagulls. That wasn't deliberate, that they picked the fight. But no, we're back in Svalenik today. We want to take the Fimi back out. Hopefully won't get fail-safe return or anything like that. See if we get a nice clean run with it this week, because we've been having some fail-safe issues, and hopefully it won't happen again, and hopefully we'll get a better situation, and hopefully we'll be able to try out some of the tracking features that we're yet to have a go. So I'm just going to do the settings as we always do. Click on the video. It's again very hot and sunny, very difficult to see what's going on the screen. I think I've learned that you just have to tap off a screen there. I'm going to click record, or say click, tap. I do a takeoff. Yeah, took off first time this time as well. Drifting a little bit. Hang on, I'm going to bring it back a bit. Bring it back down. Sort of put it in front of the camera so you can have a little bit of a look at it. What do you think? Drop the camera down. Oh, down. Again, always the wrong direction that I choose to go. But basically, yeah, we're going to take it up, have a little bit of a look around and do some nice tracking features and see what we can find out. So let's take it up and just have a little bit of a look around. Oh, there we go, right up. It seems like it's in a good mood today, I don't know. We did have a little issue again connecting to the drone before we started. In fact, we had loads of problems because we didn't bring our SD cards with us, so we kind of had to take an SD card out of the GoPro, copy the files off the SD card onto the Samsung, and then basically sort of get ourselves into a position where we didn't lose yesterday's footage, but we also gained the today's footage, ability to do today's footage, because it's very funny with SD cards this. We tried the same SD card that was in the Mavic Mini, and it just wasn't having it, and I wasn't going to format that card, so we needed to do it all again. So anyway, let's take it up a bit, go up about 50 meters, fly forward, and basically let's go towards the cave again. I kind of want to do a bit of we're going to go up a bit because we need to get as high as those caves really. I want to kind of do a bit of a comparison with the Mavic Air here, because we did a video not long ago, again in the hot sunshine, and we want to sort of see if we can fly down round the valley, and let's just see if we get some nice shots of the caves, and just sort of, I want to see if we get better footage really than what we had with the Mavic Air, or comparable, because we're recording at 4K 30 frames a second. We've set it to high. We've got auto white balance, I believe. We haven't set it to sunny, which is what we sometimes do. So if we get any kind of like changing in the picture where it kind of goes lighter or darker, that's because the white bar has got to its maximum altitude. I always like to drop it down a bit once we do that, because what happens is you keep getting annoying warnings on the screen, and it drives you potty. So yeah, we're going to kind of fly forward. I can see line of sight, I've got good view of it. I just want to sort of fly a bit near those caves, see how we're going, maybe very calmly yaw around, see how we get on, go down there. Emily coughing away in the background there, I think she's all right. I don't think there's anything seriously wrong with her. And basically, yeah, we're going to go down this canyon a bit, valley, whatever you call it. I can see that the drone is way above anything that it could potentially come into contact with. So we're going to do basically what we did a few weeks ago. Was it a couple of weeks or a few weeks ago? You're going to fly down and see if we can sort of fly past these caves. I just want to see the footage later on. I mean, I guess you'll see the footage after I stop. Oh, well, actually, while I'm talking. But basically, we want to see the footage and see how good yeah, I can see where it's gone, and see if we can just sort of replicate what we did with the Mavic Air. and just see if we get as good a picture quality really, because I sort of get the feeling that, you know, sometimes a lot of this stuff is marketing and basically, you know, you kind of think you're going to get a really like amazing like amount of extra features if you buy like a Mavic Air, but is that true? You know, is that true? Are we getting a little bit of breakup in the FPV, which we didn't get? I mean, I've got the sticks pointed pretty much towards the drone, so it's reached its maximum distance. That's what it is. So basically it's gone a kilometre ahead of us. Now you can change that. You can go into the settings, I believe. I don't know if it's here, but there is a setting for that, and I think, yeah, that's it. That always confuses me. The menu always opens at the bottom, but the first option is where all your distances are. So let's turn off the flight distance here, because I've got a good view of where it is, and I can see it quite clearly, even though it's quite distant away. I can see it better than I can see this screen. Actually, I just took it up a bit there. I pushed the wrong stick. Anyway, basically, what I want to do is I want to fly. Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? Because the Mavic Air did not come with that. Now, all I'm worried about is whether there's some sort of, is it got no confidence in its, you know, ability to keep connected to the drone. Now, I don't think that should be the case, because these Fimi should have round about an 8 kilometre range. Now, as you can see, we're flying over where we come down from shopping from the car. That's what takes you back out onto the main road. And actually, we are, you know, achieving what we did last time, I think, and we're seeing that road, and we're flying over that road. So, I mean, I can see on the screen, I can see, you know, the good thing about this drone is it's very white, and the Mavics are very grey, and I kind of think that you get a much better, yeah, she's going a bit crazy in the background there, enjoying herself, Emily. Anyway, yeah, basically I am seeing, you know, a very good view of this. And what I'm trying to do is follow that road down. It's difficult to see in the sunshine on the screen, but the drone itself is easier to see in the sky, because it's a very white drone, whereas the Mavic Airs are quite grey, and you know, they're a bit more camouflaged, I'd say, whereas the Fimi, it's much easier to control line of sight, because I think you pick it up better. You know, it's white. It kind of shows up in the sky a bit, and I think, you know, if you were to take it out at night, we haven't done any night flights yet, but we may do. It's supposedly got a low light mode, but yeah, I mean, we probably won't be doing much else in Bulgaria soon, because probably going to have to go home soon. Actually, it's kind of got to the, you know, the sort of end of summer now. We'll probably start thinking about heading home. But anyway, yeah, I've kind of lost the road here a little bit. Maybe I'll drop the camera down so I can sort of see where I am. Yeah, so we're pretty good. We're flying over. Yeah, I think I had the cameras a bit too sort of level, but yeah, it's well clearing anything that you ooh, spin. Ooh. I think it's a little bit delayed. Well, there you go. I don't think we've quite, you know, kind of got the right cinematic style. We haven't kind of flown around this road, you know, like you see on French car adverts. But basically we haven't quite managed that, but like we did last week. But what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to go around here. I think I had the gimbal a bit lower. It wasn't last week, sorry, it may have been a few weeks ago. But we basically got the camera a bit lower now. And we're kind of sweeping down around the village, back round the road we came down to get here. And then the idea is to bring it back down here, you know, and let's give it a go at trying out some of its motion tracking and just see how it compares really with the Air. You know, does it have the ability to do, you know, decent motion tracking? I just go across the little river there, and we'll see if we can bring it back down towards us and, you know, get so I don't know, it looks quite sort of bright on the screen to me. Yeah, I'm kind of moving around and I think I'm not putting the antennas in the right place. It does look a bit bright on the screen, so I wonder if the exposure's a bit, and I might sort of drop the camera up a bit. Just bring that bit back up. I don't know, sometimes moving the camera around you get slightly better. You know, I think it's because it's flying into the sun. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to bring it back towards us. So this is the road, you know, so this is the second road in the middle that we kind of went down to get here. And what I'm going to do is probably sort of bring it down. I don't know if we want to try the return to home, do a precise landing, and then see if we can sort of take it off again and then do our motion tracking. And that's what I'm going to do. So let's see what we achieve. Right, so basically I might just allow it to do the return to home. So it's got ready to return. Now I don't know what it's at a good height. I don't think it will go up any higher and then come back down. But yeah, I mean, what's good about this drone is just such a white drone that you see it really well. But right, what we're going to do now is see if it gets its landing pad. Now recently it's been doing a really good job of getting its landing pad. So I'm really hopeful that it will it'll get on its landing pad today. Well, let's see what happens. Do you know what's weird is the Fiesta has disappeared now. That was here previously. I think it had been here for like 50 years or something before that. No, I'm only joking. I don't think they've been making Fiestas for 50 years. But yeah, I'm just trying to, yeah, it's above us now. So basically it's going to come down. It's saying landing pad not detected, but it always does. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the camera down. Oh, I got the right direction this time. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to drop the camera right down, and it should come down and it should land on its landing pad. And then what I want to do is a bit of a rerun we did with the Mavic Air. I want to try and basically do some motion tracking and see if it can do it really. But first let's try its landing. It's coming down. I see it coming down, and it is coming down, no problem. Here we go. Yeah, I think this is a good drone for night flights because it's got like really bright lights on it, and it's quite white. I mean, you do pick it out in the sky much better than a Mavic. I must admit they have thought that through. There it goes. You know, it repositioned itself and kind of buggered it up at the last minute there. But anyway, it nearly got on the landing pad. But basically, yes. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame. It didn't quite get on the landing pad exactly as it should have done. But yes, I think it was kind of trying to get itself sorted. Anyway, I'm gonna turn it on again. I'm gonna do a takeoff because we've still got quite a bit of battery, 56%. So I'm gonna put it up. I'll let it get up to its normal height, I think, because this camera needs taking up. I'll let it get up to its normal height because what I would suggest is that it likes, I would imagine it likes that height for some reason. So let's go into the tracking features and see if we can do Smart Track, right? Now, I haven't tried any of these features before, so I think I might have to stand in front of it. Let's go over here to this sort of burnt out patch. Yeah, I'm kind of in it now. So if I do trace, it says drag a rectangle around the subject. So actually I shall drop the camera back down a bit. Drag us up, right, so I'm going to do that. I'll drag us a rectangle around me. And then I think you tap go. Flight is too low. Yeah, right, okay, so we put it up a bit. How high does it have to be then? Right, it's actually moved the camera down. Oh, hang on, no, we'll move the camera up again for it. Come on, move the camera up. I'd say it's not quite as intuitive as the Mavic Air one at the moment. Right, so it's kind of got me, click go, and now what happens? Do I just walk? And will it follow me? Will it basically show me? It does look like it. It does look like it's working, doesn't it? It's kind of gone right over the top of me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's getting the camera right. I think it's lost me now. I think it's lost me. Hang on. Let's put the camera back up so you can see where I am. Hang on. This ain't, yeah, it keeps dropping its camera back down, I think, so far I would say that's not great. Hang on, I'm going to exit the trace now. It's not done. It says it's done. It's not done. Yeah, basically, let's just bank it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, bank it over that way. And it's kind of looking, it knows where I am. Right, I'm going to move over more towards. Right, so I'm going to try again. Let's see if we got something here. So, here we go. Now, let's see what profile does. I don't know what profile does. Do that. Drag up to our target. The drone will trace tracking parallel. It just seems to go crazy, doesn't it? Like, it doesn't really get hold of anything. So I drop the thing down. I don't think it's really. I don't think it's really getting hold of me. Right, I've done that. Right, hang on. Right, if I walk backwards, does it do anything? I mean, you know, it's kind of doing something, isn't it? It's doing a better job of that, I'd say. It is moving in the sky, trying to sort of like track me. And if I go up over here, you know, I mean, how good is it? Does it understand speed? Or it is trying to get me again, isn't it? It's trying to get me, so it's trying to. So maybe if I go running like this. Yeah, totally lost me. I mean, to be fair, I didn't do that with the Mavic. I didn't run around with the Mavic Air, so, but that really doesn't seem to me to be pretty good. So hang on. I don't think it's doing a good job of that. How do you pick another one? So hang on, smart. It does say beta. Previously, I could have sworn this app said Smart Track without saying beta on it. Now let's try trace again. Right, because I'm presuming the first option is like the main one. Right, so if I go this way, what does it do? Is it following me? I think it's trying to, but I think you've got to be a bit. I think you've got to be a bit careful. You kind of can't. Yeah, it's not gonna sort itself out. Now, if I walk back into that square, hang on, that way. Yeah, it's certainly not the sort of thing where you can sort of tag your car and then go driving down the road like you see on some, you know, through some bush. Like in a desert or something. It's certainly not what you'd expect. I don't know what it's doing now. It's kind of just going looking for me, I think. Yeah, I'm over this way. Hang on, turn back. I'm there. Trace is done. No, it hasn't. Yeah, it's a bit of a disappointment, isn't it? That one. I don't think you're not getting anything from that. That's definitely not. That I will say, I think is a definite plus of the Mavic Air over the Fimi. It's really not very good at tracking, I'd say. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's not quite right. I mean, I don't know what lock does. Again, draw a rectangle round. I mean, the great thing about the Air was it kind of. Right now, does this this will orbit me, I think, at a certain speed. So I think this is for saying fly around me all the time. Right, I was a bit worried there because I saw a massive pylon. Oh, yeah. I saw there's a bit behind it. There's hang on a minute. Let's come out of this lock. I just want to sort of like turn the drone round, lift up the camera, and just show you the electric cables that are kind of very close to. So there's one, and then if we swing round, It's kind of another, and you can see the wires underneath. Now this drone has no obstacle avoidance, so it would have spun round me and quite happily clattered into those electric cables, probably causing a huge mess. I mean, maybe that's what these burnt out sort of fire marks on the floor are. Maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe that's where previous drones kind of clattered into the electric cable. But yeah, basically it didn't go close to it. But yeah, that feature's not the best, I'd say. Have we got any other features in here that we haven't really tried that is worth looking at? And I don't know really. I don't think there is. Lock was where you drag a rectangle and it goes round. Fixed perspective and speed. No, we don't want that. Should we give it one last chance to trace us? Drag a rectangle as subject. It will trace target from a different view. Fly in an open air and keep away from people and buildings. Yeah, and electric cables. Presumably. Hang on, I try and point it down. Let's have a look basically and see what we've got going on here. I can't even find myself now. The drone can't find me and I can't find me. So I'm going to bring it down a bit. Oh, there I am. It's a very sunny day, so it's quite hard to actually see what you're doing on the screen. So right, I got it to trace. I think Rachel's being accosted by one of the locals who's very interested in what we're doing with drones. Here we go. Low battery. Basically, I think we're going to have to land it soon. It is tracing me now a bit. I think it is tracing me. So I'll walk this way, and I think it is. Yeah, will it turn? Will it turn to trace me? Do you know what though? I mean, it's not a very good. It's not a very good system, is it, for tracing? I mean, I could have sworn I've seen people do better videos of this. I could have sworn I've seen people actually manage to to get the drone actually following them a bit, but it definitely isn't. It isn't doing that for me today. So I think we're going to have to do a return to home, and then hopefully it will go back up. Right, so it's going to return to home now. This time, hopefully, it'll land better on the actual on the landing pad. But yeah, I mean, it's not a good thing for tracing, is it? I mean, you know, we tried to do that. That's quite different from the Mavic Air 2, I would say. The thing with the Mavic Air 2 was I kind of just started doing stuff and it worked. Yes, it wasn't perfect. I wouldn't say we really pushed it, but with that I just felt like, I mean, I have to see the footage, but I just felt like I don't know what it's doing. The box was getting bigger. I was running. I wasn't. I mean, even when I wasn't running, it didn't really work. So yeah, it's coming into land again. I don't know if it's gonna precision land. I don't know. No. It got to the end. It got near the end. It got near the end of the pad there. Near the end, it came down and it was about to sort of try and pull itself back. It was almost like it could feel itself on the edge of the board and of the pad here. And it was like, hang on a minute, I can just about pull myself back, but it was already landed. And yeah, that's twice that it hasn't landed perfectly. We've used the orange side every time, so everybody said the orange side's the best side to use. Maybe we should try the blue side one time. But yeah, no, I don't think I recommend those smart track features. I mean, I'm not like an amazingly experienced pilot by any means, but that Mavic Air, when we took it here and we did the smart track, we were walking about, we had no problems with it kind of moving around us. Yes, there was a little bit of fiddliness on the screen, but it had like pluses above people you could kind of tap. I don't know, that just doesn't feel, that system doesn't, I know they've got beta on it, that system doesn't feel to me like a system that you can rely on. So I wouldn't rely on it. And it's clearly, they're not confident. They're calling it beta. They're not confident. I think it's an added feature that they've added to the drone to kind of say, oh, if you were going to buy a Mavic Air, oh, have a look at ours, because we do have these features as well. But they're not features that seem to work correctly. I have seen other videos where it worked better, but I really don't know how you would make it work better. I had myself positioned, the camera was looking at me, I drew a box around me, I tap go, I tried walking, I tried running, I tried moving side to side, it just lost me very quickly. That just feels very like, that's exactly what it's meant to do, is follow you. You know, there's no obstacle avoidance as well, so that's a bit of a downside. If you've got a drone where there are power lines and trees and all this kind of thing, you're not going to have a great experience. If something tracks you and it goes right into a tree, that's not great, is it? So it needs, I think the next version of this drone, they need to improve that. They need to get obstacle avoidance added into the drone, because I think it needs it. I think the reason the Mavic Air 2s have it is because of that. And we've all seen videos with a Jeep going down the desert, and they've got like a Mavic Air flying behind it, and it kind of looks cinematic and cool. I'm sure there's a lot of editing involved. That ain't gonna do it. That thing is not gonna do that. You are not gonna get that doing that. As I've said before, Skydio, that's the kind of drone that would do that. But but anyway, we had a go at it. We thought we'd see if it works. I suppose the way to look at this drone is that it's kind of like, it is a good solid drone that can fly around and take a good look at stuff. It's a proper controllable drone. It's not a toy drone. It's not a drone that you won't enjoy flying. It's a drone that is, like the Mavic Air. It's a good drone. It gets good footage and it flies around, and it's very easy to control with its controller and the app. But the advanced features like smart tracking is just not there. But then again, this is half the price of a Mavic Air, or almost half the price. Well, I think it is half the price, and with 2 batteries. So I think this with 2 batteries is more than half the price of a Mavic Air with like the Fly More combo. And I would suggest that it's still a great drone. I mean, do I use the active track features, on the Mavic Air? Not really. Not really. I like flying it about and having a play. I mean, yeah, I tried them out to show you guys, but yeah, it's not something that would make a big deal for me. So would you still buy it? I think you would. I think it's a pretty solid drone. It's a relatively weighty drone, so therefore in strong winds it's going to be better. It's heavier than the Mavic Air. It's a good drone. It's a good drone. I think the smart tracking, you just got to see it as, can I live without it? If you can live without it, then live without it. They're trying to do it. Maybe the app will improve. Maybe it'll get a bit better over time. But it's probably not going to get that much better, is it? But anyway, I think most people who buy this drone, they're probably not that bothered about smart tracking. They're probably mainly interested in taking a drone. I mean, basically, you're largely, these are kind of like the first serious drones you're going to buy. So what you've had before is largely drones that you take up and you try and fly, and you're like, I don't know where it is. And then you've crashed into a tree. Before you know it, you don't know what it's doing. You don't know how to control it. That's not this drone. This drone is controllable. We've gone up, we've flown down there, we've gone down round the road, we've brought it back down to us. It's totally controllable. And I think that's what matters, really. And I think that's what most people are going to go for when it comes to a drone. So I just don't think you're going to, I think that's fine. I think that's what would matter about this. But anyway, thank you for watching. It's a shame it didn't quite do what we were expecting. It's a shame that you know, didn't really track. But we did have a nice look down the valley. We did have a nice sort of fly round and got back down to here. It almost precision landed twice, which is a shame because we've seen it do better. But thanks for watching. You know, we really appreciate you watching. We'll see you again next time. Please subscribe, please like, please tell everyone, please help. You know, please help us out. You know what I mean? Maybe we can, you know, if you watch and subscribe and do all those things, maybe we can get a nanny for Emily here, and she won't interrupt the background of the video for you. You know, maybe, you know, you could help us with that. You know, all she needs is a lot of cash. You know, she needs a lot of YouTube internet cash, and you guys are the only way. You're the only way that that's going to happen. So unless you keep clicking subscribe, unless you keep clicking like, unless you keep sharing to all your friends, all your family, even people you don't like. But if you don't do that, Emily's going to constantly be moaning and crying in the background, and you wouldn't want that. So we're trying to help you out. Anyway, we've had a great time. Svalenik's a lovely place. I don't think there are any hotels. I don't know if there are any bars, so I'm not saying this is a holiday destination, but it might be a good drone destination. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Thanks very much. You've been great.